to Texas, you're entering the best state. I'll blow your chest apart and eat my dinner off your breastplate. I'm an epidemic and my case is full blown. Getting drunk and doing 120 in the school zone.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give them a message, man. First off, I want to shout out my subscribers, man. A couple of subscribers that called this shit from the get-go, real boxing fans. You got My Brazil. Excuse me if I fuck y'all's name up. You got My Brazil. You got Amina K. You got V-Town Boxing Fan. You got Myko. And there's plenty others that have said, you know, Jacobs had a chance in this fight. I want to go ahead and tell Daniel that I have found new respect for you. You know what I'm saying? I went hard at you. You know what I'm saying? I murked Danny Jacobs in one of my videos a couple years ago or last year. And I don't apologize for doing that. At that time, that motherfucker was talking about he wanted to get paid $8 trillion to fight GENNADY GOLOVKIN. So I went in on him, and rightfully so. He also admitted that he's second in a division. You don't never concede defeat to a man that hasn't defeated you yet. Okay? So I don't take back that video whatsoever. But what I will give him credit for is that I didn't think you had a chance in hell. Daniel Jacobs only did a little bit of my breakdown and did some of the shit that me and Seth said he shouldn't do, and that actually got him the victory, or what should have been a victory. Again, I will not take this as a win, even though I had Golovkin winning. It's not a win for me. A lot of cats are out there saying that he knocks out Jermall Charlo. A lot of them are saying that he beats Canelo. And this is a testament to what Wilson said about his stock rising. Motherfuckers would not have said that 6 months ago. They'd have said Danny Jacobs would have got his ass slaughtered by Canelo and beaten by Jermall Charlo. So things have turned around for you. Everybody knows who won. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be reading a whole lot of bullshit-ass media, you know, from these dick-riding-ass fanboys that don't know shit about boxing. They just do that shit for a paycheck and to get close to their fucking favorite fighter so they can give them a thorough blowjob. That's what the fuck they do for a living. You know what I'm saying? Us, we talk real shit. We don't give a fuck who it is. We will admit when we're wrong, but at the same time, we will gloat when we're right. All right? In this case, we were wrong. You know what I'm saying? And we praise Danny Jacobs for his heart, his ability in the ring, what he did on Saturday night, and dethroning what all these motherfuckers thought was the king of boxing. Real talk. All right? So congratulations to Danny Jacobs. We're going to act like he actually won. What's good, you two? We back in the fucking building. 2K to God here. Welcome to the Gods of Boxing Talk. I'm back with my panel, my man Kashad from Little Rock and my man Wilson from Brooklyn. That's every single time I got my man on, I'm doing that shit. Cats is going to get upset, Wilson. They're going to be like, man, I'm sick of him doing that.
It's a must.
Hey, yo, my man over in Philly. Shout out to my man Chris in Philly. He going to be like, man, fuck that shit, man.
Hey, Chris, we love you, bro.
No doubt. All right. So for this one, it's gonna be that motherfucker. Now, let me start off first and say this. My man Wilson put the sigh on, put the S. Well, how you spell it? SIGH. Let me start off with this shit, man. I respect pretty much everybody's opinion. As I said in the post-fight of Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, I'm not one to be like, oh, man, shut up with your fucking opinion. Matter of fact, give me your opinion. I'm about to put that shit in the toilet and straight shit on it. I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? If you got something to say and it's out there, I'm going to clown you, but I respect it at the same time. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to clown you.
I'm going to clown the shit out of you. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I clown motherfuckers. Shit, yeah, ask anybody.
Yeah, we do that all day.
Exactly, all day. So, I'm going to clown you, but I still respect it. I mean, you saw what you saw. But there are times where shit is just crystal clear. Again, I respect what you say. But I'm not going to be like, hey, bro, what did you think about this fight? I probably won't do that. You know what I'm saying?
You done lost your value.
Yeah. Exactly. You kind of lost. It's like a court of law. You kind of lost your credibility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was going for Gennady Golovkin in this fight, not because I'm a fan, but because that's what I predicted. I have no problems saying that I get shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? I said Gennady Golovkin would knock Daniel Jacobs out within 4 rounds. And he almost did. In the 4th round, he hurt him really bad. He dropped him, right? But
Yeah.
Gennady Golovkin wins the fight by unanimous decision. We all know this, right? And if I was a bitch-ass dude, you know, I wasn't an honest person on this channel, I would take that win and run with it. I would come on here like I did any other fight that I get right. Hey, yeah, I told y'all Gennady Golovkin was going to win. And, you know, guessing the knockout and shit, that shit is like going the extra mile. All I got to do is say, yeah, Golovkin won. And I could take that and run with it. Yeah, Golovkin won. I told you, I predicted Golovkin was going to win. But I can't do that. And the reason why I can't do that, even though that is the official decision, is because it's not what really fucking happened. It's not. So I'm not going to take that. I'm going to go ahead and take an L, even though I didn't. I'm taking an L. Give me the L. Somebody give it to me. I want it.
There you go.
Appreciate it, boss. I'm volunteering to take an L on a fight that I actually got right. Because Daniel Jacobs should be the new WBA, WBC, IBF, and that whack-ass, bullshit-ass IBO. Shout out to Bernard, a.k.a. Mr. Fuckery, a.k.a. Mr. IBO King. Fuck that belt. But he should have it, though, at middleweight right now. That's who we should be talking about right now as the new middleweight king. You see what I'm saying? I had this fight the first time I watched it. 9 rounds to 3. 116, 111, Danny Jacobs. And that includes a knockdown because if there was no knockdown, it'd be 117, 111. Okay? The second time I watched it. The first time I watched fights, I watch them very closely. I watch them to learn. Okay? Even though I feel like I know a lot about the sport, there's always more you can learn. You know what I'm saying? There's always things that you can see that be like, oh shit, I didn't pick up on that. You know what I'm saying? Let me put that shit in my mental safe. You know what I'm saying? So I watch fights from the beginning as if I'm trying to learn something. So I'm pretty content with my first time score of any fight. But I'll always watch it again if we have a big difference of opinion out there in the world. So I watched it again. And I could only squeeze out 1 extra round for Golovkin. So my final scorecard was 115, 112. And that's 8 rounds to 4 with the knockdown included for Danny Jacobs. This was a clear-cut Danny Jacobs win. And this was also a clear-cut robbery. Possibly one of the biggest robberies of this decade. I'm going to go to my man Wilson first. Man, what did you see in this fight, fam? And what was your final score, dog?
Man, I was proud. First of all, let me just say something like, being from Brooklyn, we know people, we all know one another, so It was like a very proud moment. I was at the Garden, I was watching this fight. I had it 116, 111. I saw some beautiful boxing. I think when you and I talked about this, I had like maybe 4 or 5 rounds, and then the KO would happen and all that stuff. But then my man started circling this man. He would throw a beautiful jab to the body. A lot of good body work that I feel didn't get credit. Like, 31 jabs landed by CompuBoxing. I'm like thinking to myself, looking back at the fight, watching it. I watched it like 4 different times on 4 different feeds, 4 different networks. And including watching it live, so that's 5. And I finally tweaked my score a little bit, just trying to be whatever, and I came up with 115, 112. So, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't get it. I saw a guy coming forward, yes. I saw a guy snapping the jab out there, yes. But that was really about it. Outside of the knockdown and a few punches here and there, like, this man was getting credit for basically landing one or two punches, while the other man was outworking him. He had him confused a couple of times. He was hurting him to the body, I felt.
Yep.
And when I say he had him confused, there was times where he was circled. And when he was circling towards his power hand, he was circling inside, but at the same time going a little backwards to stay out of range from that shot. And Golovkin, for once, he looked confused.
Yes.
And I thought that Danny Jacobs was going to be the new undisputed middleweight champion of the world. He couldn't get the IBF because of the weigh-in, so now I got to hear about how the man was 185 pounds. That's all I heard for 2 days when he wasn't no goddamn no.
We're going to get on that. We're going to get on that in a minute.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, but he boxed his ass off. He moved beautifully. I felt like he landed some great shots. He really made Golovkin, to me, look ordinary. And I don't care. A lot of people have been trying to change my mind. Like, oh, well, it was a really close fight and this and that. And you know what? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I'm right. It was an easy fight to score for me.
It was. Twice for me. Very easy.
So,
I'm just saying.
So, I don't know where to go from here. I say like this. I have said it. I said it earlier to some. Matter of fact, I said it to Bernard. Politics beat Jacobs.
Absolutely.
Because I watched the fight with the intentions of giving Golovkin rounds, and when I would be like, okay, I could give. Oh no, wait. Like, people score the round from beginning to fucking end. There's a lot of shit that happens in there. There was a lot of good body work and a lot of goddamn good body shots that came. And there was a lot of shots that Golovkin threw that hit nothing but fucking air.
Yes.
If you really watch the fight and you're not biased and you're true to yourself, you will see shit like this.
Yep.
But people love who they love. I see you get a little agitated earlier. I'm like, man, I don't even know whatever, but I don't know, man. This is sometimes what's fucked up with the game. Like, shit like this happens, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yep.
And then you got, like, I don't know, man, so many bullshit out there. It was a great fight from Jacob's standpoint. It was a lot of good things that he showed people, like, okay. And like I said, Golovkin looked ordinary. Nothing special to him. I mean, the guy hits hard, but he's got to figure some things out himself.
Yep. All right, my man Kashad, man, what did you see in this fight, fam, and how did you score? Now, I know before you start, my man Kashad was serious. He was not fucking around. My man texted me while I was at work earlier. Nigga sent me a goddamn picture of him holding a goddamn piece of paper with a scorecard. nigga had notes for every single round and shit. Why Jacobs won this round, why Golovkin won this round. He was serious, people. And he's still.
At least he wasn't cooking this time.
Yeah, my man was doing it. He was doing all that without the apron on this time, you know what I'm saying? But my man still had Jacobs winning though, man. How'd you see it, fam?
Hey, man, was crazy. I scored it the first time drinking. I mean, I'm watching everything, but I wasn't like watching it by myself at the house or something. So I watched it with a bunch of people.
Right.
And I had 116 one rather, but in rescoring it, I keep getting 115, 112. And I cannot get another score.
Yeah.
So I'm giving Jacobs round 1 through 3.
Yep.
And I was looking at round 3 as maybe even a swing round or something that Gennady Golovkin could take. But if you look at it, man, Gennady Golovkin landed jabs, but he never was able to put something something else with it. And while Danny Jacobs was landing jabs, he was able to bring some up top, down low, and throw in a hook. So it was wild.
He landed the best punch of the round.
Yep.
Yeah, he was putting some stuff together. So I gave Gennady Golovkin round 4. You know, it's a knockdown round.
Mm-hmm.
That knockdown is different than man, you know, it's crazy. You just said this dude's name and I forgot it. But Rung Savat. Damn. Rung Savat, that dude.
There you go.
At least I tried. Will just called him whatchamacallit the whole video. But now it really, that knockdown looked like it happened because he was switching stances, and he kind of just got pushed over. It looked like he was switching. That's why he jumped up so fast. But credit to him for not getting the BGs and turning into a punk right then.
Right.
Now I gave Gennady Golovkin rounds 5 and 6. Round 6 being a really good round, you know, good boxing from Jacobs, but GGG his jab constantly found the target, and I really like what Rozier, you know, was telling him, like, look, man, you out here, you know, playing. I wrote a note, like my dad used to say this when we were watching fights. He like, man, that dude's styling on him, you know what I'm saying? And Mildred Taylor was styling on Chavez Sr. and look how he ended up. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes styling on him, I would rather suck the life out of the fight and make it a boring booing affair than style on somebody and then they put me to sleep.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Or they you know, kill my buzz.
No doubt.
So anyway, I gave Gennady Golovkin rounds 4 through 6. I gave Danny Jacobs rounds 7 and 8. Rozier gave him some more. Man, shouts out to him, man, because they got a great relationship there. And this was not.
Yeah,
this
they
was
do.
like the exact opposite of Angel Garcia in the corner.
Oh hell yeah.
No, there was actual advice being given in that corner. So much different.
I will say round 7. I wrote a note that GGG really struggles with southpaws. It's like, especially if it's a southpaw, if it's a right hand dominant fighter fighting a southpaw stance, or it's a southpaw fighter that has some dynamite in their right hand. Because for some reason, it's like he's going to run into that jab every time. It's like it has a magnet on his forehead.
Well, let me ask you this.
I didn't approve with the southpaw, but it worked.
Well, let me ask you this. You might need to put some type of stipulation on that, because if I'm not mistaken, I mean, he's fought southpaws before, right? And he's blown them out of the water. But if I'm not mistaken, one of the rising southpaws that he's already beaten is fucking Willie Monroe Jr. So a lot of people are going to be like, what do you mean? He knocked out Willie Monroe Jr. and he's a top-level middleweight right now. He doesn't have trouble with southpaws. How do you elaborate on that?
I'll say Willie Monroe showed that on the inside, Gennady Golovkin has nothing for you from that southpaw stance. And Danny Jacobs utilized a lot of that shoulder push off, that leaning in, because Gennady Golovkin is almost like he has to reset and pause and almost paw you away from him so he can, get leverage on his punches.
Right.
He needs to
have
extend.
any inside work.
Absolutely, Wilson. Absolutely.
It was clear cut. Like, I don't know.
That one thing
and
you just...
I mean,
go ahead, Kashad.
Speaking about, his domination of southpaws, on his resume or whatever. Come on now, like, I feel like everybody that got in there with that man quit. Like, Willie Monroe just realized that he was out of his water and he just didn't have anything else. He was in the wrong lake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But everybody else, those guys are quitters, man. Like David Lemieux fought to not get knocked out and embarrassed. Those guys are quitters.
Yeah.
So Gennady don't get many props from me on that one. So I think I said it was real good defense. from Jacobs. He was pot shotting. I say from round 8 to 12, Gennady Golovkin only won round 9. That was it. So I give Gennady Golovkin
That's
4 rounds.
That's actually the round I gave him.
Me too.
4, 5, 6, and 9.
Oh.
But I'm not gonna lie, Jacobs controlled these rounds. I will say in closing, just kind of I have some notes about both of these guys. If Jacobs was an accurate puncher, we would have been able to see Gennady Golovkin react to like a dangerous situation. Because you saw in this fight where some of these punches clipped him, they buzzed him, but if Danny Jacobs could throw a straight punch like 2K, you brought him up in the last video, Mayweather, if he could throw like a straight pinpoint Mayweather or Eris Lundy Lara or Jamal Charlo, uppercut,
it could be a problem.
Just straight, I'm telling you, it would be a problem.
Yeah.
Because he has power, but he fights a lot like Tim Bradley to me, man.
Well, I said what you just said. I've said that in multiple videos, and that's one reason why I didn't do a prediction video for this fight, because I've already made predictions for this fight on multiple videos in the past, and that was one thing that I said that you just mentioned. Danny Jacobs needs to get on the inside and throw that fucking uppercut, but I said that he doesn't have that in his arsenal. You know what I'm saying? And we just seen that in this fight, and clearly based on what you just said too. I mean, he threw it. He threw it.
He threw it, but he didn't do enough of that. He, like you said,
he never threw it from the right place, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree.
And he did clip them with some shots, and I felt like he did some things, but I liked the game plan, to be honest with you. I felt like it was a good game plan. I felt like it worked. I felt like the corner did a masterful job.
Yes.
In that fight. I mean, that was beautiful. Like, the feet I watched, they kept zoning in on their corner because the advice was so good coming out of there. I guess they enjoyed it themselves. So it was like, okay. I'm like, damn. But he really kept them in check, kept them in track, and kept them on level. I liked the way he reacted after he got knocked down, too.
Yeah.
He knew he lost that round. So he basically, okay, I'm not getting on my bike, but I'm just going to stick to what I was doing.
Yep.
And, every once in a while he forgot. And as soon as he got back to the corner, he got a good reminder.
A style point.
And, he did. And I felt like towards the end there, he was really catching him with some shots. And Gennady don't like it to the body, man.
No, I don't. One thing you said earlier, and this is one thing that I tried to get people to understand about Gennady Golovkin for a very long time, and Sergey Kovalev. These two guys need to have full extension on their punches. And Wilson, you alluded to that shit. You said the reason why Gennady Golovkin doesn't fight on the inside is because he needs full extension. And that was the beauty of Jacobs mixing up his game plan. He don't have an inside game, but he was successful on the inside because Gennady Golovkin can't do anything on the inside, fam. What he does is, and he looks stupid as fuck when he does it, he kind of crouches over and he uses his elbows to guard his body, and he leaves his face wide open on the inside. That's why he was getting caught when Danny Jacobs would back up and throw a left or right hook coming back on his back foot from the inside. That's why Golovkin would get caught. I think that was round 10 where he threw a
10, 11.
Yeah, he threw a
at the end of the 10th.
Okay, beginning of the 10, he threw a right hook and he stepped back and hit him again with a fucking left hook, and then he yells at Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was able to land that combination, because Golovkin is too busy. He hates it so much to the body that he's willing to sacrifice his face when on the inside. Okay? Now, also, just watch what Golovkin does while he's stalking his opponents. And I was telling my wife this. I said, Danny Jacobs needs to keep the fight in the center of the ring. As long as he does that and he turns Golovkin, he has this shit in the bag. When Golovkin stalks his opponents, much like Sergey Kovalev, and I think Sergey Kovalev is a much better fighter than Gennady Golovkin. after seeing this shit.
I do too.
But much like Sergey, they like to push their guys up against the ropes. And when they do so, they keep themselves about 2 steps away from being on the inside. They'll stop short. They won't go all the way on the inside and work them up against the ropes and try to bully them. No, they'll stop a good 2.5 feet away so they can get full extension on their power shots, but they like their guy on the ropes so they can't go anywhere when they're doing that. You see what I'm saying? So what you do as a fighter who Golovkin is targeting, you take those 2 steps in and you make Golovkin smother his shots. Okay? That's one thing that I wanted Danny to do more of when he caught himself on the ropes. He didn't do that much. He would actually move laterally off the ropes, but it actually worked.
Yeah.
Because the shit worked. It shouldn't have worked. And that's another reason why I'm saying Golovkin did not execute an excellent game plan here. Because in doing that, all the other fighters he's fought, they did the same thing. Okay? And Danny Jacobs, in my opinion, he's not a better mover than Willie Monroe. Okay? He's not no Arislandi Lara in the fucking ring. And to be quite frank, Daniel Jacobs' jab is not that great. It's all right. But it was great against Golovkin. His movement was good against Golovkin. This is what I tell motherfuckers.
And he did it perfectly, too, because when he was circled to Golovkin's power, he was circling, but he was moving away from it.
Bro.
So he was keeping out of range, and he had the reach advantage. So he used that at times. So
there was so many.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. There were so many times Golovkin would try to step in and throw his right hook, his short right hook that he pretty much kills motherfuckers with. Danny would just circle, and Golovkin would miss by a mile. And like I said, it's not like Danny Jacobs get him O'Rigan down there with the footwork. He's not. He don't have great footwork, but he did in this fight. See, when a fighter goes into a fight and he's able to execute things that he wasn't able to execute in previous fights, okay, and he does it successfully, that right there already gives him one leg up in the fight, okay? Another thing, when he actually nullifies the things that his opponent is able to do that got his opponent so much success in previous fights, that gives him a second leg up in the fight. That's already 2 legs up. And we're not even breaking down the fight yet. You see what I'm saying? So that's what people don't understand about boxing, dog. If you got 2 motherfuckers in the ring, both are high-class fighters in that division. They're both high-level fighters in that division. They both have been successful for a long time in that division or in their careers. And they have tendencies that they've done throughout their career that has helped them be that successful. And they get in the ring with each other, and one fighter has to make adjustments because the tendencies that he was doing that got him successful to get to that point was not working in this fight, and the adjustments he made did not work, or he just didn't make adjustments, he lost. He can't win that fight. What fucking adjustments did Gennady Golovkin make in this fight that told us that he was no longer getting outboxed? Where and fucking when and how? See, that's what I'm talking about, dog. Cats, I just feel that they ride the train too much on a certain fighter, that they don't know how to decipher what they're actually seeing in the ring. And this goes for motherfuckers that I respect, okay? This goes for cats that I respect. Sometimes the bias just takes over. There's absolutely there's no fucking way Golovkin.
For certain fighters, all the time. For some people,
you know,
like
there's
you
no
know,
way
like you speak to them about other fighters, and you're like, okay, you know something, and then you speak to them about a certain fighter, you're like, you know what? Okay,
I take it all back.
I mean, I've had a couple people already, and like I said, I don't try to change anybody's mind. I just state my fucking opinion, and this is
it's my opinion. That's all I say.
Right, and this is a woman I respect. She's an active viewer of the show, and I've done shows with her on other platforms. I posted my shit. I said, you know, this is a robbery. Jacob should have won. She said, no, I thought Golovkin won. I thought Golovkin won this fight. I said, really? What was your score? She said she had 115, 113 Golovkin. I said, interesting, right after that. She said, why you say that? I said, because I saw a completely different fight. And I told her maybe 1% of what I've said in this video. She said, let me go back and watch it. She goes back and watches it. She sends me a message and says, I apologize. Golovkin ain't win this fight. Jacobs did. And I'm not, and like I said, I didn't even say anything to make her be like, oh man, he changed my mind. No, she went and watched the fight herself. She took another perspective at it or gave it another look. You know what I did in my second time viewing the fight? I said, okay, there's some cats out there that are saying Golovkin actually won this fight. Let me look at everything Golovkin is doing. She probably did the same thing. Okay, 2K said Jacobs won this fight. Let me look at everything Jacobs is doing. And that's how she came to that conclusion. Yeah. That's how I still came to my conclusion. Jacobs fucking won. I looked at everything Golovkin did, and I gave him one extra fucking round. That's it. One.
I stand by my assessment of it was an easy fight to score.
Very easy.
I knew what I saw. I knew what I was watching, and unfortunately, the judges, the ones that count, didn't see it that way. It was fucking unanimous, and I'm like, yeah, you could have at least done a split.
Right.
They just I don't know.
I honestly thought when they said unanimous, they was going to give it to Danny Jacobs.
Man.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, my cousin, I told you we bet 2K. I told you we put a bet in Vegas.
Yeah.
And my cousin was like, man, he thought I was stupid for taking the bet with Danny Jacobs straight out. So I was like, man, I just keep watching the David Lemieux fight. And you know, that all these odds makers are saying that Danny Jacobs ain't going to see the 8th round. And if David Lemieux, it took him basically 8 rounds to put him out. There's no way he putting Danny Jacobs out. And I know Danny Jacobs ain't got it. You know, we all had the chin jokes, and you know, I will still say that over and over again and say Joe Moore put him down.
Yeah.
But Danny Jacobs, he really showed that, like, I won't say, I guess I'm trying to word this right. I said this on the show before. I said the person that was going to beat Gennady was a person that really didn't care about money. He was going to be a person that really they were going to go in there just to show the world, you know, something. It's going to be a defining moment. And I feel like Danny Jacobs got robbed of his defining moment.
Absolutely.
In this. HBO is purely trying to protect the Canelo-Gennady Golovkin fight. And it'll be funny if Chavez Jr. clips Canelo. That would be hilarious.
Well, before you get into that, I plan on getting into that, but before I say that, I did notice that the odds for a Golovkin knockout by the time of the fight was a -370, which is absolutely ridiculous. Basically, everyone who was betting thought Golovkin was gonna knock him out. That shit was crazy. But my point that I want to get to now before we close it out is, you know, I'm not gonna ask you, did this Canelo Golovkin fight that is looming over our heads for later on this year, did that have anything to do with the decision? We already know the answer to that. But don't forget, there's a guy out there who I like to call the master at making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, Mr. Billy Ho Sanders, you know what I'm saying, a.k.a. the peanut butter hand man. He
Talk, man.
Word up. He has agreed with Gennady Golovkin in principle to fight him in September. That's why he gave Krzyzewski, step aside money so that he can have open negotiations with Gennady Golovkin for September. So a lot of people are yelling Canelo.
Is that September or June?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm just assuming. Let's not say September. I'm just assuming September because Golovkin just fought in March.
Okay.
I don't see him fighting again in June. But it could be in
Well, they're
June.
talking June 10th. I think I read somewhere. But
It could be. It could be. I'm just assuming September. Maybe I should say later this year. That's better. But
yeah.
that fight is supposed to. That a lot of people are yelling Canelo, but Billy Ho might get that shot first. What do y'all think about that?
Well,
He hasn't looked good in his last few outings. He barely beat Eubanks Jr.
he looked horrible in his last fight.
Hell yeah.
I don't rate him that high, so he was the one that messed around and get clipped.
Well, that's not
knocked out.
That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is, Billy Ho has that belt. Understand.
WBO.
Understand. And I said this earlier today to one of my homies. Understand. Gennady Golovkin beats Billy Ho. He becomes the next undisputed champion at 160 pounds. The last one to do it was Jermaine Taylor when he beat Bernard Hopkins.
Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah. He becomes that guy. He gets in the fucking record books. Even though the fight with Danny Jacobs will be looming. What do you think about him taking a fight with Billy Ho instead of Canelo? Do you think that could happen? That's what I'm asking.
I guess anything's possible when you got HBO trying to back it.
It's a possibility. I mean, it depends. I always felt like he was chasing the money, but
same.
I don't know if the Canelo fight, if he gets the offer that he wants, which I don't think he's going to get 40%. I think they want something like that. I can understand 30, 25, or whatever. And his stock went down a little, I think, after Saturday too. And you know what? Jacob's stock went up.
Yeah,
in my view. So,
Absolutely.
So like cats are now going to be paying more attention to him, and so it's the division is interesting. I don't. Maybe Billy Joe will get this fight, but how many fights hasn't he been rumored to that just never happened?
Well,
exactly.
The reason why I say I think he gets his fight is because he's already given Kurtzitzi step aside money.
It's already he gave him that money.
I mean, he could have done it to fight, Rio Murata. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but the whole thing is too. He's been inactive. He hasn't fought a whole lot. The last time he fought, he looked horrible.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a fucking sacrificial lamb, and you know it.
Yeah.
He's gonna lose. He's gonna get knocked the fuck out. Everybody's Golovkin did it again. Golovkin is in the fight, and I gotta hear all this bullshit from all these motherfuckers that don't know shit about shit. And then I gotta read about this shit now when I go on fucking record sites and
yep.
It's gonna be, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's bullshit. It was a bullshit decision. I still feel that way. No one is gonna change my mind. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I hated the decision. I thought it was horrible, and I stand by that. And I don't care. I could debate anybody on it. I could point out how I feel, why I feel. All I keep hearing is, oh, well, he was moving forward. He was fucking jabbing, dog. He was motherfucking jabbing and missing most of his power shots. I mean, he was fucking hitting air a lot. CompuBox said this. Fuck CompuBox.
Well, one thing I try to get people to understand is this. There's a reason why CompuBox is not considered as a source of information for the judges. CompuBox is very inaccurate. It can be skewed for the viewers based on the fucking broadcasting station. I've seen different versions of CompuBox from different broadcasting stations. I mean, that shit doesn't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? I told a cat earlier today. Yeah. Your best source is your eyes. When niggas tell me, oh, fighter A won this fight, look at CompuBox, I immediately disregard these motherfuckers' posts. That shit ain't got nothing to do with who won a goddamn fight. Because it's clear to me Danny Jacobs landed more than 133 punches. Get the fuck out of here. Clearly skewed, nigga.
And the other thing is you tell them, okay, so Golovkin won. How? And they'll be like, well, you gave him all the swing rounds, and I think somebody said earlier something about all the judges had him in round 1, blah blah blah, and I'm like, huh? And I'm like, but they can't really give you a defining of how they got to their score,
right?
Or how they have him winning. They can't break it down for some reason. They just retort back to some BX excuses or whatever may be the case. But at the end of the day, they can't really break it down, and there's some people still shocked of what they saw because they called it an easy fight. They thought this was gonna be 1, 2, 3. A lot of us thought that too. I mean, and 4 or 5 rounds, it was gonna be over.
Yep.
And boom. And he wasn't, man. I got credit to Jacobs, a lot of credit to him because he showed up and he showed out. And it's fucking shameful what happened. I'm like, then you, and then no.
Yep.
I'm like, what the?
Yep.
You know, it is what it is, man. And at the end of the day, that's boxing.
All right. I agree. All right. Well, I'm going to do a little message to Danny Jacobs to close it out. But before I do, I got 2 things I want to do. Yeah, I know y'all have pretty much heard the rebuttal. It's actually the number 1 rebuttal for a fan of Golovkin. Whenever you say Jacobs won this fight, first thing they say is, well, look at Kovalev Ward.
That's how you know he lost, man.
Exactly.
Hey, bro, the same people that have Golovkin winning have Kovalev winning. So what the?
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
What a coincidence.
Exactly. Oh, my goodness. Kashad, you got anything you want to add?
Man, I just want to wrap up kind of some thoughts on GGG. Like I said, he doesn't excel fight on the back foot. He has fits with an accurate pinpoint puncher. It's yet to be seen how Lara's chin will hold up at 160, but Lara would fucking annihilate him just coming at him.
Yeah.
And I'll say that you can tell he has a deep amateur background because he does a lot of dirty, I'll say gentleman's tactics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He leads with the crown of his head just perfectly, and you can see he's doing it on purpose because it's like he's aiming with it.
Yep.
Sometimes it go low, sometimes it come high. Like PK was saying, he excels at kind of dipping his head under it, using his arm to guard his body, and kind of giving you some shots on the waist and stuff. And he does a lot of little small things. I actually think it's cool because it's not like a blatant foul. It's just you can tell he's been around the square circle for a long time to learn that. Danny Jacobs, man, just work on your accuracy. And you know, I'm sorry. I wish there was something we could do as fans to get you this, because that was a defining moment, man. I'm like, you would have been in the history books. So hopefully that's not the end of the road. I know it shouldn't be. You're a young 30. I can see him getting in there and you know, doing what he got to do and getting another shot and winning. So it'll come back to him.
Out here, we got mad love for you, man. You'll be all right. You come right back. You'll get your shot. We'll see you here again in the big spot.
Real talk. All right, YouTube, we're going to conclude it right here. Do what you do in the comment section. Let us know who you thought won this fight. If you thought Golovkin won this fight, again, like I said, I respect your opinion. But break the fight down. Don't just tell me Golovkin won. We broke the fight down. Like my man Kashad had notes and shit. I watched the fight twice very, very closely. My man Wilson broke it down for you. Break the fight down. Tell me why Golovkin won this fight rightfully. And we'll have a conversation about it. But until then, this is Real Talk for Real Fans. 1.